Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I don't have any Guns N' Roses playing. See, what can I show first? First off, so first off, let's look at the art. So this is the art that we're going to be discussing today. Which I mean, it's not like it's comic book art. You know, it's artwork that you would expect to see from a comic. I know. That's why I had a question mark. It's like, what? I had the question mark. He was he like kind of guilt tripped me. I wonder if it's my fault. Because we were like, yo man, are you gonna stream? And I was like, man, I don't know, dude. I'm kind of fucking tired. And he was like, dude, I need you on there. And I'm like, I don't know if I could share your energy. Because he was ready to go, and I was just fucking just tired from a long day. And I was like, all right, well, let me go get something to eat. And then he never started. So and I never got the link. So all I could say is I hope he's okay. And you know. Oh, what's up?
Hey,
What's going on, buddy?
I'm at work working in a hospital right now. I got to wear my Breaking Bad outfit.
Dude, that looks awesome.
Yeah, we just waiting for material, and I just saw that you were live, so I figured I'd jump on, say hello.
Yeah, man, what's going on?
That's Rich.
So, hey,
that's my buddy.
Hey, what's going on, Rich?
Yeah, we're in Manhattan.
Real men making the world turn right here.
It's pretty insane because we got to wear these suits because they're literally doing operations on the other side of this wall. You know what I mean?
So okay, so let's be nice and calm then. No loud noises.
Yeah. We were pulling wire before. We're both yelling, "Fuck, shit." And then we turn around and we got an audience of little kids because it's a children's hospital.
Oh.
You know, the father's all the father's like, that's what you do when you don't go to school.
Oh, bullshit. The dad should be like, kids, that's the school. You need to learn a fucking skill right there, kids.
Yeah, learn a trade, or you're wearing an ice cream man outfit, pulling wire.
Oh, dude, that would be such a funny scene. Like you guys just yelling and bitching about all the fucking asbestos, and then you turn around and it's a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck put all this asbestos in here?
He's one of my comic book guys. Yeah, so this is me at work. You know,
it looks like you're down in the tunnels. That looks cool.
Now we're actually in a hospital, an electrical closet. Did I lose you? Oh,
no, I'm making you live.
We're in an electrical closet. We're up like the 5th floor or something like that. Poured rain out. I just hope I don't deal with the protesters on the way home. I'm in no mood for that nonsense. You know, so this is me at work. Look, You know,
There's
and you
some
got
kind of joke about gay robots being in electric closets.
yeah, well, they're putting up more apparatuses. They constantly need powers in the hospitals. So we do this stuff on the weekends because there's not as many staff to deal with. So there we go.
Yeah,
You got a
that's
rare
dope, dude.
insight to me at work.
I like all that tubing and piping and stuff.
Yeah,
Have you ever
that's
seen any
literally
of
what
that
we.
that back room? Have you seen any of the back room videos? Do you know what I'm
I
talking
don't know
about?
what you're talking about, but you see pipes. This is what I
Yeah.
did 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Oh,
what we.
that's
This is
awesome, dude.
90% of the job is bending these pipes and shaping up. And now what we're doing today is putting the wires in the pipes that we put in a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
And
that's dope.
it's kind of like a standard procedure. They want the guys to pull the wire who bent the pipe. That way, when
Mm-hmm.
you're bending the pipe, because you could do it the easy way for you, which is the
Mm-hmm.
hard way for the next guy. So if you're
Dude,
also the
I'm
next guy,
seeing a comic book right now. I'm getting a comic idea right now of
yeah,
like
you see
these
this.
two guys, and they're just like basic, electricians, but really they're like all those pipes are like wormholes and like timelines and
It's
shit. And they're
funny that you
like,
said that because
hey,
I've been
we're just here, we're making things flow in the right timeline. Gotta have timelines, can't cancel each other. Hey, it's a living, we're
yeah,
just
funny.
we're making timelines not collide. You know what I mean?
I was thinking of like a sci-fi, like you work on a space station. Instead of electrician, you're a gravitician, and you're putting in the gravity lines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go
Hey, if
into
it wasn't for us, your shit would be floating around, okay?
yeah. And then I was thinking of a like because we're local, local Union 6, local Union 7. So I was thinking instead of like local whatever, you'd be a beyond. So beyond, we're beyond 13 because you're actually like beyond the dimensions. You're the first electricians or construction workers to build colonies and other planets and moons and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Lot of construction
Yeah.
based comic book ideas.
So many
Yeah,
cool
yeah. A
ideas.
lot of
Yeah, I'm
people.
I'm more imagining like a blue collared watchers, or
Oh yeah.
like a cross between Mario Brothers and Doctor Who and the Watchers. Like all those pipes are different
Yeah.
timelines that you
My,
guys
my
are keeping
partner's over
check.
here just laughing at how nerdy we are.
Oh, nerding the fuck out, dude.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah.
this is like why I like to stream,
These,
because it's like going to the comic book
these are
store
all
and nerding out.
like master switches. Like if you used to pull these, people on the other side would die because they have no power. You know
Don't
what I mean? Like
touch it. Don't even touch
literally.
them.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And
would
like
be
you see
nervous
this.
in the room. You know what I mean? Like my
Can
thoughts
you
would be
see
like, just twitch, just turn one switch. No.
this? This is operating room 4, and it's locked. So this is like
Mhm.
probably like heart surgery or something. So it can't
Jesus.
even accidentally be knocked off. You know.
Yeah, dude, those are like all different realities, that they're all like stacked
Yeah.
on top of each other.
Yeah. 616 over here. I'm tired of this one. It's too woke. Okay, it's time to fire up 617.
Dude.
I mean, it
Wouldn't
it's
that be awesome if like a lot of the and I'm going to talk a little bit about modern comic books and the
oh,
artwork
and
because
if my foreman shows
Liam
up, I
Gray
just
has
gotta
like
jump.
lost his shit, but I would be just fine if they pulled like a Dallas and just woke up one day and suddenly was like, "Oh yeah, the comics from the last 5 years, yeah, that was all a fever dream, or that was like all like one
Franklin
universe."
Richards.
And yeah, and we've gone back to the original. It'd almost be like before 52. We're going to go back before
Can you
Infinity
see how high
Crisis.
the ceiling? Can you get a sense of how high the ceiling is?
Not really.
But the pipes, that's one of the things we do is you always start out like at the highest. You don't want to be the lowest pipe in the room. It's
Mhm.
like just protocol. You let the next guy. So all of these pipes have to be planned. You know what I mean? When you start,
Yeah.
you sit in here and you take a piece of cardboard, you Sharpie, and you draw it out. It's funny. I'll turn it to comic book talk. It turns into the Omega beams. You know,
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
dude.
Every time I look at the dark side, we got to fit. I'm trying to. And if I jump off suddenly, it's because my foreman showed up. But look at all that.
Oh, that's so dope, dude.
Yeah,
It looks
people.
like pipes in a fucking cathedral, dude.
Yeah. People think I before my wife, I was dating a girl, and she was like, "What do you do? What do you mean you're an electrician?" I'm like, "What do you do?" I go, "I put these pipes in," and she's like, "These pipes?" She goes, "Those pipes didn't exist until you touched them." You know what I mean? Because most people don't notice it. But yeah, this is like 90% of my work is these pipes. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's cool, man. That's super cool.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go. I gotta go. I
All
can hear
right.
them coming. All right, bye bye.
All right, man. Well, peace out, brother. That's my buddy John. This is John Longbox. He is a commercial electrician in the New York City area. We love talking about old spots in New York City, old clubs, old music spots. We were both into hardcore music back in the day, punk rock music. So it's funny, like we talk about, we probably banged into each other a few times in a mosh pit. Uh, so he doesn't. I don't know if he has any kids or not. I don't know. He's never mentioned kids, so it sounds like he's he doesn't mention it, but he does. He has his comic books, so it's just like, yeah, like clearly, like if I didn't have 4 kids, I would have a lot more like paraphernalia in my house. But he has like an awesome collection of comics. I'm talking over a dozen, over easily over 2 dozen. I mean, it's like he has like 2 walls of long boxes, and he knows all kinds of shit. He is a huge comic book fan, and he uh he did some electrician work at Marvel back in the day, and like got to comment on some stuff. I'll let him tell the stories because they're pretty awesome. For the electrician to be like, hey, actually, back in Fantastic, like he's amazing. So he got into making his comic books, and he's got a character called the Patriarch, and he's got a whole universe that he's been like working up, and he's like been coming up with different characters. And I think he's working on, not I think, I know he's definitely working on his second issue to Heroic Tales. I got to do some coloring, not coloring. I didn't do the coloring, so I got to do some ad work, some fun stuff for the first one with Sea Hippies, but I didn't color it. And I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking the coloring, but like the bottom, it was like black lettering on like a navy blue color, and like it was just hard to read. Not that I'm knocking it. I'm just saying it was kind of like, I was like, shit, I could barely read that. But and then I did some stuff for Heroic Tales #2. I did another ad for like beards, like growing beards, like Atlas muscles. You do like Atlas beards. Um, so I don't know. I guess like recently him. I guess we're getting into a little bit of the fudge because I don't. I'm just gonna skim it. But him him and Ethan have like kind of like butted heads a few times, and I don't know why Ethan is so like fuck you, dude. But Ethan seems to have a real problem with John, and I think because John is like honest and is and just calls it as he sees it, and it's just an opinion, it's subjective, and Ethan decides to like take it to the next level and is like wishing him to get his fucking neck broken harder and stuff. Like it's like weird petty shit. But I guess like recently, Zach and him went at it a little bit. Like I don't know, Zach kind of went at him and called him a peckerwood for saying that a black woman being leader of the gypsies, the Romana, took him out of the movie for a second. And that's like, it's such a small thing to say, and it's not untrue. Like, I mean, the gypsies are an actual ethnic race. They're not like a political group. It's like, I don't know. It's like, it's like, hey, we're gonna do a scene with the Native Americans in the John Wick movies, and the head of the Indians is a fucking clearly, it's clearly the Japanese guy from fucking Fast and Furious. There's gonna be a little bit of like a fucking what the fuck is going on here? Like, what kind of creative ass fucking casting is this shit? John is like, John Longbox is like a huge John Wick fan. Huge John Wick fan. Has like the coins, has all kinds of paraphernalia and shit, I guess cuz you know, he's into that shit. See, dude, if there was a fucking board game for John Wick, he'd probably have it. So for him to like be watching this movie, and clearly he gave his money, so it's like, hey man, shut the. I don't know what Zach. I don't know. Maybe it was a slow news day for Zach, but to decide to be like, yeah, hey, this comment, and it's just a small comment from somebody who actually paid to see the movie, somebody who's like, John uh does not make his livelihood or his money, all that shit. He doesn't make it off of going onto YouTube and talking shit about it. Like, I think uh Zach tried to lump John Longbox in with the quote unquote party clowns, the kid clown party guys, right? Like, John doesn't go on, he doesn't make 12 videos about why fucking John Wick ballerina sucks, and why the whole industry has gone to shit, and Hollywood is sucking the dick of fucking whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, John isn't doing that. John is just like, it's like a weird little, it was just a comment. It wasn't even weird. I was about to say a weird little comment. It wasn't even weird. It was a comment about a movie that he paid full price to go see after also seeing all these other movies. And to be honest with you, I would have thought the same thing. If I'm sitting there and I'm watching a movie and there's gypsies and suddenly there's a black one, I'd have been like, "What? Okay, maybe she married into it." You know what I mean? Like, it takes you out of the movie. And with me, I would have. I mean, I'm not gonna like fucking throw my popcorn on the floor and walk out. I would be like, "Oh, gypsies? Okay, they're a certain ethnic group. It's not a political group. You don't just like fucking join in. They're dark skinned, dark haired, but they're not black. Um, so you got them, because I've seen them in New York City, just like John Longbox has seen them in the city. You know what I mean? Like, you could, they stick together. They live in certain neighborhoods. So yeah, to see that, you're like, yo, what the fuck? So in my head, it's like if I'm watching John Wick Ballerina and suddenly I see a black woman in the gypsy group, suddenly I'm just like, I'm taken out in the sense where I'm like, okay, I have to like create a little narrative in my head of like, oh, she married somebody, and then she, moved up the ranks, or maybe she married maybe the black woman married some high ranking gypsy guy. Their love was forbidden, and then he died, and now her place is at the top of the fucking gypsy thing, which is fine. Like, that could be a fucking story right there. I'm not opposed to that. It's just, you're watching it and you're like, what the fuck? Just like, um I'm not saying that Zach has done it, but I've seen vets and stuff like get all poopy pants over watching something. Like, dude, the text messages that I got when I was watching No Remorse, right? I'm watching No Remorse. I can't remember. Is it on Amazon Prime? Amazon Prime. No Remorse. Tom Clancy's No Remorse. I think the book is called Without Remorse. They like changed it up, so it's like they modernized it about a SEAL. Uh, his family gets killed, and he goes on a fucking Charlie Bronson fucking killing spree. And in the show, they have uh, the guy from Sinners. Fuck, what's his name? Jordan. The, I was about to say the kid. He's not. He's definitely not a kid. The dude's fucking yoked. The guy from Sinners and Creed, and he was in The Wire. I think he got killed in The Wire. Um, so yeah, he was in The Wire. What the fuck? So, anyways, I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about anymore. Oh yeah, so he's yeah, Michael B. Jordan. So he's like a Navy SEAL, and his family gets killed, and he goes on a Charlie Bronson thing, which is that cool. Like it's Tom Clancy. Gotta love some Tom Clancy shit. And Michael Jordan Peele, he plays a guy named John Clark. So if you played Rainbow Six, John Clark ends up starting Rainbow Six. So there's like a whole bunch of like previous stuff with Tom Clancy and this character John Clark, as opposed to Jack Ryan. So you like John Clark and Jack Ryan are like the two opposites of the Tom Clancy like universe, at least within the books. Right. So you have Jack Ryan, Hunt for Red October, um, uh, Some of All Fears, all that shit. He's more of like the book guy. He's like a book guy who's like kind of like he was a Marine, so he's got some training, but he's like just kind of like getting like pushed into these like larger incredible things within the military world. And John Clark in the books is a Navy SEAL from Vietnam. That's like how old these books are, like from the 80s. Like he was a guy from Vietnam who leaves Vietnam, um, finds a girl. I think they get married. They have a baby. Drug dealers kill the girlfriend, and he ends up killing all the drug dealers in that whole thing. And then the CIA come to him and are like, "Hey, come work with us. We'll give you a new name." So his name isn't really John Clark. It's John something, like John O'Brien, or John, it's like John O'Neill or John something, like it's like an Irish name. So he changes it to John Clark, and so then he starts working for the government again under the false name of John Clark. So then he like moves on. So in some of the movies, you've already seen John Clark, like in Some of All Fears, no, Clear and Present Danger. William Defoe plays John Clark, and the one guy from Breaking Bad, he plays Domingo Chavez, the Hispanic sniper kid, and like they both team up and do some wild shit. They in like the military side, they do some wild cool shit, and then Ding, like Domingo Chavez, Ding, he ends up marrying John Clark's daughter. So he becomes John Clark's son-in-law. So that's some cool shit, like some Tom Clancy shit. But it's like, so they like modernize it. So like now John Clark is a young black Navy SEAL, and his son and his family gets killed, and he goes on a rampage and kills everybody involved. And at the very end, the CIA is like, at least in the modern TV shows, yeah, he comes into comes in, sees him, and is like, "Here's a file," and it's like on the file it says like Rainbow Six on the file, so you're like, "Oh shit, they're gonna do Rainbow Six," because everybody loves the fucking game now. So the point is that John is like watching this show, and he's like, "Oh, I don't really like the black Roman chick," but like when I'm watching the new No Remorse chick, new No Remorse show, there's a black woman, and now which is she's black women in the military, duh. But like, not only is she in the military, she's also a SEAL team commander. And this isn't like fucking, this isn't like 20 years in the future. This is like 2, 3 years in the future. Dude, my phone was blowing up because I was like, I like texted my brother. I was like, yo, man, No Remorse is on Amazon Prime. He's like, all right, I'm gonna watch. And he was fucking blowing up my phone, dude. And then I saw a whole bunch of other people like losing their shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, what kind of fucking I can't watch this shit. Like they could not watch uh, a a woman on the SEAL teams as a commander in modern times. It just like broke the whole show for them. They couldn't watch it. And like he wasn't the only one. There was a whole bunch of other people. So it's like you see people get mad, like vets get mad. They're like, they're not holding the gun right. Look at what he's doing. So it's just like it's just entertainment, but you also have a right to say something. You could all, if you want to sit there next to me and be like, that guy's not holding his gun right. That scope isn't the same scope. It's like, okay, but also, you have a right to say that. So also, John has a right to say, yeah, that took me out for a second. So that's my skimming of the fudge there for between them. I like them both. Like I'm not gonna stop working for Zach. I'm in the middle of Rock and Roll Ninja Part Two, and and I did some stuff, and I'm gonna do some more stuff with John because he's got this cool character with a giant eyeball for a head that I like. I was like, oh, that's cool. And it's like it's not a watcher. It's like a watcher meets. So I guess my point is like you could watch anything that you're into, and if you're watching it, like something's gonna take you out of it, and it's okay to say it. If you're an electrician and you're watching somebody and they're totally wiring something wrong in a movie, like, dude, here's another example. But it's also a good example because so we're like I go to see Backdraft with my dad and some of the guys from his fire department, and you could just hear him like huffing and puffing and shit through the movie, and like my dad didn't say anything. He was just like watching the movie, and he wasn't like huff. Like you could hear the other guys like, oh my god, like huffing and puffing through their popcorns and mustaches and shit. And my dad didn't say anything, and so we left. I was like, I was like, so what do you think? And he was like, I didn't like the jeans, and that was it. He was like, I didn't like the jeans. He's like, you can't tell how hot it is. He was like, you just can't tell how hot it is from watching this movie. He's like, I didn't like the jeans. So I guess like Kurt Russell in one part of the movie is just like jumping into fucking the fire and fighting the fires, wearing a pair of fucking denim jeans. And that was just like that was just like the bullshit. But my dad didn't say it like while we were watching in the theater. He didn't like throw his popcorn or anything. He just pulled a John and was like, yeah, that kind of the jeans. I didn't like the jeans. But my dad's like pretty fucking what's the word? Not stoic, like cantic. Not a lot of words. So it's like I didn't like the jeans. That spoke fucking volumes. Like that clearly that bothered him enough to be like, I didn't like the jeans. Yeah, I didn't like the jeans. So I guess sometimes firefighters go into buildings and they have to have multiple layers of super engineered Gore-Tex materials because shit like denim will burst into flames. So they'll like come out of the fire like just like drenched in their own sweat, but like the stuff that they're wearing doesn't catch on fire. So yeah, wearing a pair of fucking denim jeans like uh, Kurt Russell just broke it for him. Anyways, yo, what's going on? Let's say hi to the chat. No clue what we're talking about. The new fucking human target or the old one? Yeah, I don't. He doesn't. We don't. And this isn't. We just like people will be losing their fucking minds over shit that he's saying in his videos, and they're talking about what he's saying, and it's creating conversations. People are agreeing with him or disagreeing with him, but hate him or not, like he's still super relevant to the point where people are watching and like hate watching and rage commenting about him. Whole fucking pages on Kiwi Farms, if you want to use Kiwi Farms as a barometer. Zeitgeist. It's they talk mad shit about him. So I don't really like, email him about shit that he says in his videos, and he doesn't email me about anything that I tweet about or anything that's anybody else's, saying. We just talk about ninjas and sci-fi shit and movies. We talked, like, I think the last conversation that we had that was like not rock and roll ninja or western related was we were talking about a Tommy Lee Jones movie called This Park Is Mine, and he hadn't seen it, and I was like, yeah man, you gotta go check that shit out. But yeah, his taste, I'll like watch his Gatto movie stuff, and I'm just like, what what what's the deal, dog? Oh dude, fucking it's a nightmare, dude. It is the shit stained piss wall covered bar at the end of the galaxy, dude. It is just diabolically disgusting. And I pop in every once in a while. I popped in the other day. Fascist Kurt was talking some shit, so I had to like fucking kick him in his fucking stupid nuts. Apparently that guy is like on there arguing with himself with multiple accounts, or he was like thumbing his own shit up with other accounts and stuff, and it got busted. It's like, just calm the fuck down, dude. So this is the artwork that Liam was losing his shit over, dude. And I just had to like, I'm gonna just start drawing, and I'm gonna like play. It is creepy. I mean, at first I was like, oh, this place is a fucking shithole. Fuck this place. I hate Kiwi Farms. And then I got on there, and like, yeah, it is like a fuck. It's gnarly on there, dude. You kind of have to be. It's like a pool of sharks, you know. It's a feces. It's a pool of sharks with feces floating around in there. So you have to just become a shark with a gas mask on. Is there a 2001 Human Target show? I remember there being a fucking Human Target show in like the 80s or maybe the 90s with like Rick Springfield. Do you remember that? There was like it was like a really quick show, maybe half a season if they did that, of like Rick Springfield Human Target. There was this skit. I saw this skit where there was it was Rick Springfield and they're at a recording studio and they're like, all right, we got a new song. I just came up with this new song today. Okay, we're gonna start singing. I want you to get ready, okay? And they're like, all right, Jesse, are you ready? You ready on the drums, right? Or whatever. It was like Jesse on like the keyboard, right? And he's like, "Oh, Jesse, hey man, awesome! You're on the keyboard. Cool, cool. You got the music notes. All right, yeah. Oh, yeah. Word, you brought your girl. Okay, right." And so he started singing. They start playing the fucking Jesse's girl, right? And every time these guys start singing the lyrics, they stop singing and they stop playing because the guy Jesse starts wanting to fucking fight Rick Springfield in the recording studio. Like, man, what the fuck? Don't you know? I wish I had Jesse's girl. He's like, fuck you, man. Fuck you, Rick. Fuck you. It's funny.
Woo!
Don't you know that I had Jesse's girl?
Yeah,
How can I find a woman like that?
Rick Springfield was featured nicely in Boogie Nights, man.
Was he in Boogie Nights?
Well, they talked about him in Boogie Nights. They played his music.
Which part?
When you remember when the little Asian kid was throwing firecrackers?
Yeah.
In the drug dealer's house.
Yeah.
What
song was that?
I think it might have been Jesse's girl.
Where can I find a woman like that?
He was like whipping those firecrackers all around.
Yeah, dude. The firecracker, dude. I like recently watched a whole like, which is funny that you brought that up. But I recently watched a thing of like breaking down that scene.
Dude,
and,
that was an unsettling scene.
Dude, it's crazy.
There were many.
It's like, oh, dude, the whole movie is it's like you watch and you go, oh yeah, there's some weird like porn shit, but it's kind of like I don't know. It's almost like metaphor for. But he so they go to sell some fake coke, right?
Yep.
And it's the three of them, and it's very foreboding because they go and they knock on a gate. The last scene or the last shot of the first scene is them like going in and Mark Wahlberg like closing the gate behind him. You know what I'm saying? So you're just like visually you're going, oh shit, they're going into a place with a gate. Then they go in, you see all three guys sitting on a love seat, right? They're all fucking crammed into this one little area with a spotlight pointing right down at them. And then so you have like this Asian guy who's throwing firecrackers.
It's a little kid. It's an Asian kid.
I don't think it's an Asian kid. I just think it's a little Asian man, like a little Filipino man.
It was a kid, dude.
I don't think they did a kid. I think it was a small Asian man. So or a Thai man. So
it was like one of the drug dealer's kids, man.
I don't think so. I think there was something else going on. I don't know. I don't want to go down there. I'm assuming that it was a small dude. I don't even know. I'm not even assuming that they were fucking around. I'm just the Asian was there. Maybe the Asian had good coke. You know what I mean? Maybe that, I don't know. Maybe he was part of the Chinese triad and he was like a foreign exchange gangster and was just
That's a lot of exposition. I don't think
I'm gymnasticking. I'm trying to do mental gymnastics away from what you were fucking suggesting. Like
it was
hard backflips.
Let's just put it that way. It was a fucked up scene.
It's just a weird scene. So you have those three guys sitting on the bench sitting on that chair. They're very confined. This one dude is dancing around them, but he's also in a confined area, right? So it's like creating chaos. They have a spotlight on them. Then you have, like, while they're spotlighted, also framed in the background is the black guy cutting into the coke, right? So there's like a ticking time bomb of, like, they've brought fake coke and this guy in the background is fucking testing it. So it's like this. So they were like the firecrackers are like a fucking countdown, like it's a slow fucking countdown. But and then shit just, like, I don't want to spoil it, but shit just gets crazy, and Thomas Jane, aka fucking the Punisher, just fucking goes nuts. It was a great scene, Dan. We're gonna do what we fucking came to you to do. What we fucking do. What we're gonna do. What we came here to do. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm reading online here. It was a kid.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Opium. My bad.
But
well,
yeah, the drug dealer guy
as
was
far as
the
I'm
guy
going to
who
go with
plays-
it. I'm not going to assume anything else past that. He's just, maybe is it his kid?
That's what
Maybe.
I'm thinking. It's like his kid that he knocked up some prostitute or something with.
Oh yeah, dude. So the guy, he had this crazy adventure in the South Pacifics. Met a woman. She was part of, like, the Golden Triangle. She dies. He comes back to LA with this child and then raises the child along with Bubba Black Mountain, the fucking biggest.
Yeah. And apparently
it's like My Two Dads, but with, like, coke dealing and a black guy and an Asian guy and then a small.
Apparently he learned child rearing from Dr. Spock, where he just lets a kid do whatever the fuck he wants.
Fuck it, I guess. Hey man, I want to show you some artwork. I want you to tell me what you think about it. What do you think about that artwork?
All right. Let's do it.
Look at these two panels.
Is this comic book artwork or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to change your mind. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pat you on the back and give you a beer.
Oh, nice.
Not you, motherfucker.
Oh.
Talking to Akuma.
Oh.
But yeah, you too.
I get beer?
You get a beer too. Yeah.
Kegerator.
You get a beer. Yeah, no, man. Ray Stevenson was the best Punisher. I wish that movie had a little bit more money. I did not like Jigsaw. I did not like the parkour. I think the parkour, even though, oh no, they used a rocket to blow up the guy doing parkour. I don't know. I think the whole parkour thing was fucking dated and stupid.
I thought John Travolta was horrible.
That's the Thomas Jane Punisher.
Is it?
And yeah, and I thought that was like, it was weird, dude. Like, they lifted Welcome Back Frank for like the middle of the movie, but put it in fucking Tampa, Florida. You know what I'm saying? Like you have Frank in this tenant apartment building with Slacker Dave, the fucking fat dude, the little squeaky mouse chick, which, who do they hire to play the squeaky mouse girl? They get fucking Rebecca Romaine Stamos. They get a fucking supermodel to play a mousy waitress. Right? So I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? That could be a takeaway for me, because I'm just like, what? I'm like, that's the mousy chick is a fucking
you have all
supermodel?
this. I mean, here's the problem, man. When people read books and then they see the film adaptation, they're never going to be happy.
Bullshit.
I mean,
there's sometimes,
but for the most part, like, if you're a
oh.
hardcore, reader of the book, you're not going to accept any variation. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm okay with variations, because as a comic book reader, I'm used to variations. You know what I mean? Like, I'm used to, and I think movie viewers are starting to get like that as well, where I'm used to there being different people drawing Batman. I'm used to there people being different writers for Batman or for Punisher. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It's like do I like Gary Frank Punisher or do I like John Romita Jr.'s Punisher where he looks like he has a fucking broken nose, like a perpetual broken nose. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it's like, so when I'm reading the comics, like I have like a general idea of who the character is, but I'm not like stringent on certain
No,
things.
great,
Like
great little
it
blurb.
doesn't ruin it. You know what I mean? Like I can watch a Punisher. Like I love the Batman with Robert Pattinson. I thought it was awesome. Were there things that I was like, I don't know, that's kind of fucking wonky. He doesn't seem big enough to be Batman. Like it didn't take me out of the movie. I was like happy to see, Batman finally being a detective and not just like, doing punch up shit, even though they showed him like beating up some people
Mhm.
in the beginning, it was like, okay, good. Well, let's get the punching and beating up shit out of the way. And now let's show him being a detective and like solving a crime. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
So it's that was
It
that
depends.
version of
I mean,
Batman. You know what I mean?
I made a broad generalization. I've just heard a lot of people get upset, like if they're big followers of the book, even on the Lord of the Rings stuff. Great Worm brings up the Lord of the Rings books. They get real pissy about like variations from the book, but it's like
Well,
you
how
have
many
to a
variations has there
screenplay.
been? How many
There's been the
variations?
cartoon thing, and then there's been the movies. You know,
Yeah,
there was a
yeah,
cartoon
they
movie
fucking
that was.
ruined the Baskin shit. You talking about that Ralph Baskin shit from before?
Yeah, like the old cartoon Lord of the Rings movie. And there were yeah, it was like a sing along and shit.
I like that that first Bilbo Baggins movie. It was like, yo, look at that. They put the whole story in one movie. They didn't have to turn it into three fucking movies. I thought that was a little wonky do. Like, what's all this other fucking shit? I mean, I did like the White Goblin,
Yeah, some things
that
it's
was kind of
weird.
cool, but I don't know.
It's weird in the movies because some things it would take them like 5 minutes to walk somewhere, and then other times it take them like months
Yeah, and I don't
to walk to the
understand.
same place.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you're gonna take out Tom Bombadil, but then you're gonna put in a love story between an elf and a dwarf.
Right.
It's just like, what are you
I
doing?
That's
I
the
thought that was
screen
goofy.
adaptation stuff that they have
And
to
in
fulfill a
the
timeline.
new Lord of the Rings, now that I'm just like, oh really? What's the problem with Lord of the Rings? Now I'm getting fucking now my tism is getting triggered. Dude, the fucking new Lord of the Rings shit was like, oh, the orcs are their own race of people. Like, no. No, they're not. They're fucking they were elves that were twisted through evil.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not their own like oh, we're showing orc babies. They're fucking that's twisted shit. That's all evil. You're gone along with fucking what's the evil person in Lord of the Rings? Malcor.
Sauron? I don't
No,
know.
it's like you have Sauron, but there's somebody above him, Meditor or something like that. Like you
Oh
have
fuck, I don't know, man. I didn't read all that shit.
Oh yeah, okay. So I'll break it down real quick. So you have like this the main creator, right? Avenur, or I'm butchering the name. So you have like God, right? You have God, and then God created these lower gods, and these lower gods help God, and this is Lord of the Rings shit. These lower gods help in different things. So like one of these lower gods is like animals and plants, right? And this other god is all about like earth and rocks and stuff like that. And then this other god is all about this, and this other god is all about that, right? So each one of these mini gods is like helps him with an aspect of creation,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all playing the song of creation, right? So it's like so God was like, yo, I want to play a song, and that song is creation, and I need a band. So he created a band to play along with him, right? So they're all like playing fucking, just imagine they're all like playing like jazz, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then you get this new guy shows up, this other guy. At first he's playing along with him, but then he starts like fucking with his guitar and shit. And it's like, yo, we're jazz, dude. We're not playing that.
I mean, I only watched those movies. And the only movies I liked out of the three, I guess they had the three movie releases, which was The Hobbit and then
this is all pre
Lord of
stuff.
the
This
Rings.
is all like early. This is Samillennian shit.
I
This
don't
is
know
all
nothing
like,
about all that.
yeah.
But the only movies I liked
this
were
dude,
Desolation of Smaug. Like I liked that movie, and I liked The Two Towers. But the rest of them I could do without.
So this one dude who's playing fucking crazy guitar, he breaks away and starts playing fucking speed death metal.
Okay.
And that starts corrupting some of the creatures that have been created in the Song of Life. So like there were like dragons were originally eagles that were transformed and corrupted, some elves. And so there's like different things where it's like
that's kind of important to the storyline. Sure.
The mini gods, like the mini god that was in charge of animals and fauna, that guy, he creates the elves. And then the person who is part of like rocks and earth and shit, he creates the dwarves. And then you have, but then the humans come like directly from God.
Okay.
So we have like a spark
what about
of,
the elves?
The elves are the fairies. Like the elves come from the god that made like plants and shit.
Okay.
So we I like the way it was explained is like humans, like we have more of the God spark in us. We have more of a soul, and like, but we don't last as long. I don't know. It starts to get complicated, and then hobbits are like an offshoot of us.
Okay. Kind of like dwarves or something.
Yeah, and like, and so, and then there's like you have this, the helping gods, and then below them you had the another ring of like entities, beings, and those beings, some of those get corrupted and become balrogs, and other entities on that level get sent to Middle Earth and become wizards and shit. So like Gandalf is not human. Like Sauron, they're not human. They're on the same level as Balrogs, but they've like been given a human form.
Okay.
And like that's the form that like a Balrog has been given. And Sauron is like the biggest fan of the fucking death metal song that metalcore has been playing. So Sauron isn't like the top evil. He's actually like, he's doing all this for that other death metal, speed metal guy.
I can hear some biblical similarities,
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like he was definitely like Christian. Like there's no he didn't hide it. He definitely let everybody know that he was Christian. But it is some similarities. It's
Kinda
almost
like
like he
C.S.
took it and like
Lewis.
organized it. Yeah, they were friends.
Yeah.
They were buddies.
There you go.
Morgoth that's the big bad guy, right? Morgoth. That's the original. Like, I don't want to play jazz no more.
Well,
play rock.
Lucifer,
I want to rock and roll.
Lucifer was in charge of music for heaven before he got thrown out, supposedly. So that's the parallel I'm seeing.
Yeah, there's a lot of like stuff that's not in the Bible that people have like built up on. Like I don't like, yeah, it's like, does it say in the Bible that he was just the bringer of music? I'm not like putting you on the spot or anything. I mean, I love talking about this shit. Because if God is omnipotent, right?
I don't see how you put me on the spot.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I was or not because I'm ready to talk about it. Like, if God is omnipresent and omnipotent, then He knows everything and He's aware of everything, right? He's the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
So, like, when He created Lucifer, He knew what was going to happen. Like, He was like, "Yo, let me
He
make
had to have.
let me make this dope. Let me make the dopest fucking angel
But also
that
when
I
he
can."
created
And then was like, "Let me
mankind,
step
he
back
had
because
to
this
have known.
motherfucker is going to cause straight up destruction."
Well,
Like,
and
He
also
knew.
when he created mankind, he realized that all this was. See, if you look at
That's the
the
pickle of
whole.
that, dude. Where it's like, yo, man, don't if he told Adam don't eat the apple. See, then I almost feel like a lot of that early stuff is like metaphors and not to be taken literally.
No, it's all point. No. Here's the thing.
Because
Like,
it's like,
so, all
how
right.
if he says don't eat the fruit, right? First off, he knew that they were going to eat the fruit anyways. So why put the fruit in the garden at all?
Well,
If I, as a parent, I hook up my backyard. Like, my backyard has a fucking play set. It's got a trampoline with sprinklers. I've got a fire pit. I've got dope shit. I am not going to plant a tree with fucking juicy ass fucking fruit that's poisonous and be like, "Hey, don't eat that."
here's
Like,
the thing.
I've just attracted attention to something that I've put there myself. Like, why don't I just like remove it?
Here's the part that I think everybody sort of misses. God's purpose is His purpose. We can't quite understand all that, but when we're talking about time and the concept of infinity is infinite. I mean, so any amount of time spent, like you can even go back to the history, even if it's millions and millions of years. Let's say Earth is millions of years old. Millions of years in comparison to infinity is nothing. It's just, it's nothing. It's zero. It means nothing. So going back to the Bible stuff, when Adam sinned, uh, he put him and Eve in leaves to cover themselves because they realized they were naked because they ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
So he immediately covers himself with the leaves. God's like, why have you covered yourself?
Why'd you cover yourself?
Why'd you cover yourself? And God obviously knew why. And then the first thing Adam said, well, you gave me this woman and she gave me this fruit. It's your fault. Okay. Blame God. The first thing that God did is cover him with animal skins.
God did that, or
Yes.
Adam did that?
No, God did it. Covered him with animal skins, which points to the sacrifice of Jesus. From way back in the beginning in Genesis, that blood sacrifice must be made to condone this sin. So there you go.
So there you go.
That's the through point. So the whole sacrifice, the sin, the sacrifice, the redemption has to come through God. And once again, when you put the time perspective into all this stuff,
Bingo.
like even all the atrocities you can remember, study in history.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm
not an atheist. I just want to make sure I'm.
Oh, I
I'm
don't.
not.
I know
Okay.
it doesn't
I'm not
matter.
like
Yeah.
arguing. Yeah,
Atheists don't exist.
I don't know. I don't know. I have questions, and then one day I'll have some answers. Hopefully,
Well, yeah, we don't know
hopefully
everything.
I'll have some
Like
time.
Lasmat's saying, we don't.
You
We're
don't
not
know.
meant to understand everything.
I try to think about it sometimes. I married into one faith, but I'm still my own. And
Well, let's look at it this way. If Adam, when he was confronted by God with the sin that he had done, if Adam had said, you know what, I fucked up, I made a mistake, do you think the question would be, well, what does God do at that point? Because he's not blaming God. He's taking responsibility.
yeah,
Would things have been different had his attitude not been to blame God. I mean, the sin that Lucifer did was he compared himself to God. And that's why he was removed from heaven. So that's the question I ask is that, okay, if Adam had come clean with what he had done and blamed himself and not God, would things have been different? I don't know.
I don't know. Sometimes I think about like with Jesus is like, oh, he is the Son, you know, and he is, you know, I'm like, oh, okay, so is God's the game creator, and the Holy Spirit is the operating system, and he played the game, and his avatar was Jesus.
Well, they're all the connected.
Yeah, but that was the one, like, you're like, you know, you're playing Grand Theft Auto, and like the dude who created Grand Theft Auto is suddenly in the server with you, like that avatar would be Jesus. Like he like do all kinds of shit. But he really is he is God, but he's also, you know, the avatar.
And he's also Israeli. I mean, people forget that Christ was Jewish.
Okay, yeah, let's move on to something more interesting. I mean, I pulled up the Liam shit because he was like live streaming and just sucking EVS off and calling this some of the greatest artwork he's ever seen. But I'm totally down to talk about fucking Israel, dude, and their fucking strikes on Iran. I don't know if I could. I don't know how long I could talk about it.
Yeah, that's some wild shit, man.
That's some wild.
And they got through the protection dome with the
because Mossad is the fucking shit. I mean, whatever. I love the CIA. I'm just gonna say I love the CIA. I think we're fucking dope as shit.
I mean,
I want them to have a fucking $1 trillion. I think they're dope. Yeah, I think the CIA should have a $1 trillion budget. I don't give a shit. Mossad. I love all, like, you know, the spy you know, I love all the like special forces.
Then you probably
love
the movie Munich. I mean, I love that movie.
Oh, I love Munich, dude. I'm just like, get those motherfuckers. Fucking blow that fucking building up. So
take care of business.
Exactly, dude. And like Eric Bana is like, oh my God, you keep sending me fucking people. Oh, wah. I'd be like, fucking dude, keep that list coming, dog.
He just started getting worried about his family. That's all it was.
I would have. I mean, you just been like, look, just can you put them in Montana? Put my family in Montana.
Yeah, why would you put them in fucking Brooklyn, New York? Like, that is not a safe place.
Nah, dude, Brooklyn isn't safe.
Not a safe place.
It's not like, a safe place, dude.
Go find someplace out in Montana or Wyoming.
The suburbs, bro. Take it, yeah, dude. They'd be like, what? Like, go. The suburbs of Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
That's fucking safe as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, be like, hey, I will like fucking kill every enemy that fucking looked in our direction as long as my family's safe in Montana. You know, like that's all Eric Bana had to do. But he was getting all poopy pants. He's getting all poopy pants about it. But yeah, I love Munich. So, and we're just talking off the cuff. I don't know any of this shit, but apparently Mossad, they were in Iran. They'd been in Iran for a while, like a maybe even decades, right? And they're in there, and what are they doing in there? They built drones, and that was what they did. So what they do is they create the drones. The drones do some strikes, right? The drones go off and they do some strikes, which of course, Iranian fucking military is like, so they get all fucking razzled, and they all go, well, we got to meet up. We got to meet up and talk about this and make a plan. And so when they meet up, Mossad is watching, and then they fucking launch a missile and just fucking blow the meeting up.
Yeah, I mean, Israeli.
They like wiped out like 3 fucking major dudes, man. Like when like a fucking.
I think it'd be kind of nice if Israel just took over Mexico, you know. That would solve a lot of problems, I think.
You know, at some point they probably could have had Florida.
Yeah.
But you know, they can't, you know, let's be real. There's some religious
No, there are
you know,
religious reasons to be where they're
reasons
at.
for yeah. There's no like, hey, you know, we got some land after World War II. No, it's like
No, there's scripture that it dictates that
yeah.
they should be where they're at. Yeah.
But
But I'm just thinking, like, in my multiverse world, you know, what if they took over Mexico? You know,
yeah, but what about the Mexicans?
Fuck them.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
you're bringing stuff,
I
you know,
think they could get
I'm
along
already in
with
trouble for Moon
Mexicans.
Cricket, and I'm already in trouble for
No.
telling people
I'm
to
kidding.
curb their
Look,
immigrants.
that was a joke. I'm saying I think the Israelis could get along with Mexicans. Like, they have a lot of things in common as far as a lot of them are Catholic. You know, Christians and Jews get along pretty well.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I'm not trying to get you in trouble with that. Was a joke.
What do you think about the riots in LA? With people burning American flags while they wave
Was
Mexican
it not enough
flags?
that it's already been burned down by the Malibu fires? Like, how much more destruction should California undergo over stupidity?
I know they're not.
I think you got to get rid of your leadership over there, California. Y'all are really fucking up with your politicians.
California.
At some point, you got to admit you fucked up. You hired the wrong politicians and move on from them.
Yeah.
The policies are stupid. You got people leaving your state in fucking droves. Your taxes are insane. And you can't keep a safe living environment because you got riots or you got fires or you got some earthquake. Like, you guys need to get your shit together.
They get mad. Somebody got mad because I was like, yo, curb your immigrants because there is doo-doo all over San Francisco. There's doo-doo all over San Francisco, man.
I never have visited San Francisco, unless I was a kid and I don't remember, because I do remember we went to up to the Seattle area to visit my grandparents at one point. But I don't recall ever being to San Francisco, but I have no interest in going at this point.
I was there and I was not a fan. I literally saw human feces when I came out of the hotel. It was like, what?
I've seen it in New Orleans from where I'm from. You know, I mean, it's disgusting.
Well, yeah. I've seen puke. I've seen the puke.
No, I've seen it all, dude. Like, it's a real shithole, that New Orleans. I've seen a dude just pull his trout down in an intersection and just fucking let it go. Just like, not trying to hide it. Just boom, right underneath the bridge, in front of God and everybody. Drop trout and just dump.
I've seen in the city. I've seen that. I've seen a lady and a guy take a dump on a subway platform.
Ugh.
Not together, separately.
I'm picturing this image of them holding hands.
No.
And squatting.
Then I've seen multiple people just like fornicating. And not like hot. Like one
not
time,
the good kind.
Like one time where I was on the subway platform, I was on the subway train and it was late, and I like got up from one train and was like going to another train because I was on the last train and the platform was like further up, so I had to like, you know, just like move further up the train, and I came into the train car and two people were fucking on a seat, you know. She was like riding him and I was like. I just like kept my head down and like kept walking, and they didn't stop. They just kept fucking like rocking. These like two Hispanic kids. and then and then another time when we went to this place called the Tunnel, and it was like a club that had a
it wasn't a metaphor, was it?
No. The
Okay.
tunnel. I don't know what the fuck where they built the tunnel. It was like on the west side. It was like a warehouse used to be, but then they turned it into a club. And in the back of the club, they had a half pipe. And on Fridays, you could like if you brought your skateboard, you can ride the half pipe in the back for free.
Yeah.
So people would like be paying $20 to get into this club, and we could just show up with our skateboards and fucking go in for free to skate. So that there was just an element in the
You can
background.
skate a half pipe?
Yeah.
Oh, damn! I didn't realize that you were that skilled at skating.
Dude, you watched the movie Kids? That was practically us, dude. So
But it wasn't actually you, though.
No, but no. But I did know and skated with a couple of kids from the movie who were like real New York kids. So
I mean, I bought a longboard in my, I guess, 30s, and I would skate that, but I wasn't really a skater.
Oh, dude, I got a funny story of like when I was like working a delivery job, whatever, and instead of having a bicycle, I was like, well, let me use my longboard. And in traffic, like Madison Avenue traffic, dude, like I lose my board. I'm fine, dude. I'm like riding my skateboard through Manhattan, right? I'm loving it, dude. I'm high as shit. I'm loving it, right? And so I'm riding through it, and I like lose the board. And there's a hill, and the fucking skateboard just starts riding down Madison Avenue, dude, through fucking traffic, like going through intersections and shit. And it gets run over by a car, but it's one of those flexi. Yeah, I saw it, but it was one of the flex longboards,
right?
And it just went.
But yeah,
I mean, this was like wood, but it had like spring to it, so it had like a canter to it. You know what I mean? So you can kind of like bounce on it and like give it some thrust. And so it fucking like bounced and like flipped over, and I was able to like get it. But for like a good 2 blocks, dude, I was fucking like chasing after this longboard.
Oh, you probably had to true those wheels.
Fucking sucked, dude. I just took it back. I didn't want to fucking do it while I was working because I didn't want there to be a scene while I was working because what I had on my backpack, and went, and either there'd be cops showing up or like my skateboard hitting anybody, so it is what it is.
I would not be riding a skateboard in Manhattan traffic. That's psychotic.
No, dude, it's the best. It's the best. It's
I'm
the best.
Me, knowing my skills,
I love riding my bicycle.
Doing that.
I love riding my bicycle, dude. Like,
I can do it on a bicycle, but
yeah, bicycle is fun, dude. Because dude, like we would get high as shit. Like, yeah, we're bragging about drugs. Like, calm down, dude. It's smoking weed. So like we would like be high as shit and riding through traffic, like going down Broadway. Like imagine just like riding Broadway from like 48th Street and just like going all the way downtown, right? And you're just riding it. And as you're riding your bike, you're baked, cars are kind of going. It felt like we were like herding cattle. You know what I'm saying? It felt like we were cowboys. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like we were like sitting, like, you kind of like move around cars, you can move through the traffic. But like when you're riding and traffic is driving and you're kind of going at the same speed and you kind of look over and see the car, that's like the vibe it felt. It felt like I was herding sharks, which
I've gotten hit by 3 cars riding bicycles.
I've gotten hit by cars twice.
I got pwned by a door open.
Yes, like are you ready to go?
12:15. Said 12. I'm like ready to go.
Okay, yeah, I'll head down there now. I'm going to the comic book store.
All right. Well, hey man, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Enjoy the comic book store.
Don't have them right here, maybe I'll come back on. Maybe I won't. Like,
just send me the super secret link, man.
Yeah, buddy.
I'll come jump on with you.
Like Liam just like spent like 2 hours just like tripping out on this and said that this was the greatest artwork that he's ever seen. That this is better than any modern comic books.
That's not even the worst of it, man.
And dude, the funny part was I was like, what did he say? Because I remembered he was like, we're getting rare glimpses into Ethan's world. And I'm like, yeah, 2 fucking comic books in 8 years. We're definitely getting some rare glimpses. Like,
Yesterday,
fucking Rainbow the Brood is like fucking 5 years late. Like, yeah, bro, rare glimpses
check this
indeed.
out. So yesterday, he went on a tirade because Ethan and Shane were talking about Rob Hunter, and he wanted to be led onto the stream. So they're like, "No, we're good." I think Ethan was like, "No, we're good." And then
No, I saw he was
Liam
like,
goes and fires up a stream, and he
he was like, yo,
bitching out.
Ethan, he said, Liam, go let me hear what you have to say on your stream.
Right.
But
And
it was
so,
like, yo, we're kind of like we're jamming me and Shane, but I want to hear what you have to say. Go on your own stream and say it. He was
Yeah.
trying to be polite. He was kid gloving a guy that he pushed to fucking almost suicide.
so then Liam goes and fires up his own stream and just proceeds to bitch out Rob Hunter because he's not fulfilled some project. Meanwhile, Liam's got 473 backers for Wonder Island, which is a
No, dude,
4
Wonder
year
Island's
late
not
book.
late. There's no due date. There's no due date for Wonder. He didn't put a due date for Wonder Island. It
No,
doesn't
he did.
count.
There's a video where he said that it would be out in 2021. Where he said that. So it's 4 years late. And he's got the nerve to talk about Rob Hunter and about how he's letting down his backers and all that sort of shit.
Is he gonna do it? What did he like? Remember what he did with Jimmy Ray's? He was like, "Hey, Jimmy, you have 48 hours. If you don't fucking contact me, I'm gonna take your scanned pages and I'm gonna color them and I'm gonna put in new lettering. You better fucking contact me." Like, whoa, Lily boy. And so then fucking is he gonna do that with Rob Hunter? Like, Rob Hunter,
Oh well, he said
you better
Rob,
contact
I'll
me
help
in
you
48
fulfill
years.
this campaign. Just hit
Jesus
me up.
Christ.
Yeah, he did all that. What a hero.
What a fucking hero. Good. I hope
Hey,
he
man,
does it. I hope he does it.
Liam,
Good
just
for him.
go fulfill Wonder Island. How about that? And quit worrying about everybody else. Worry about yourself.
Yeah, he really goes. I got a boogie, but he really goes into like Ethan and talking about Ethan's the greatest, and he's this rare glimpses of seeing
kind of
Ethan's, and this is like the pinnacle of Ethan's work right now. Like he's become a master after all of his years. Like, and it's like, bro, calm down.
Well, my argument against
And it's because I want to be like, really, dude? Like, have you seen those head sketches that he's been sending out? Because those head sketches look like fucking Mr. Potato Head. It looks like that's something that Larry Hama fucking called out when he was like, "Don't draw Mr. Potato Heads." Where just like an oval, 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth have been like slapped on. You know what I mean? Like a Mr. Potato Head. And that's what it looks like.
Out on caricatures, so there is that.
Yeah, but these ones that he's doing right now are like are kind of dog shit. They look like they're phoned in for people who've like waited for years.
I don't know.
I didn't order one, so who cares?
I think you should just continue just be a YouTuber and stop playing around like you're a comic book artist.
Yeah, I mean, because 2 books in 8 years. Calm down, bro.
No. That format, the format of a floppy book with the art style of comic art, they should have a book out every month.
Yes. His like, guys, I'm a YouTuber. This is where like you would be making a lot more money if you were producing more books. Like the books he's releasing aren't any more exciting than the books that he was doing monthly. So why can't you put out 4 books a year? I mean, you know what I mean? Like
definitely
not one every 5.
I mean, one-off floppy books after a
dude.
5
If he was doing a 40,
thanks.
if he was doing a like 3 40 book pages a year, or I don't know, maybe even just 2 books a year, he would be making way more money than Eric and not even worried about Eric. You know what I'm saying?
How about release anything? How about that?
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Instead of being like, oh, Eric July, he's a piece of shit, he's destroying indie comics. Like, why? Because he's putting out books? Like, put out books.
I don't know.
He's just, and I'm not saying don't stream, but it's like, oh, I'm a YouTuber. It's like, well, then you're not a comic book artist. I mean,
All he's really
I don't
doing is
know.
promoting Eric July. That's all he's really doing.
You've died. You've killed yourself. If you're like, oh, I pay everything off of super chats. Well, then that means your fucking comic book
You're a
stuff has
YouTuber.
died.
Just be a YouTuber. Yeah. But anyway,
Which
man,
isn't
I know
that
you gotta
bad.
go.
Yeah,
but
I'm
thanks
out.
for having me on.
Chat, good to see you guys. I'll see you guys later.
Later.